What's going on, guys? This is Skyhound, also known as Geek Archivist Pierce. Now, while I know that Power Rangers actually was yesterday, National Power Ranger Day and all that, considering that was my birthday, while I did reveal some stuff through my live stream yesterday, for those who are interested, there were a few other things that I wanted to go over that, unfortunately, from my observation, isn't covered very well. What do I mean by that? Let me give you a little perspective here. One particular episode of Lightspeed Rescue, specifically this one, the fifth crystal. Now, while this did air back in September 16 of 2000, I do remember that time. I did watch that episode. The one thing I didn't quite, that I wasn't surprised about, is it mentions a certain voice actor. Look here. That's the real name of the actor. However, let me go to the episode in a bit. Give me one moment. So yeah, I'm trying to get to the correct one, or the correct screen here. Give me one moment. So this is the part I've been trying to get the point across here. Bear with me. As you can see here, this is the 21st episode. Lightspeed Rescue was season 8. I'm just borrowing this part as reference. As you can see, they mentioned the name as Bob Manahan. Likely one of his names, but again, going back to here, he did voice Zordon in Mighty Morphin all the way up to Power Rangers in Space. No disrespect to David Fielding, who also did Zordon. He did provide the face and the head. And as Austin St. John pointed out, he wasn't paid as much. Totally agree with him on that. Yes, he also does the voice. However, some fans overlook this fact. And I have to stress and grill this, regardless of feelings. In my honest opinion, I don't think the guy was given enough credit. Hence why you have that episode, in tribute to him. So to give a little bit of context here, I'm going to be playing a little bit of the two-parter from In Space, Countdown to Destruction, just for context. Like so.
You've been stopped from happening.
How? Tell me.
Shatter my energy tube.
No.
Only the good energy from my tube can destroy the forces of evil.
Like I said, for context. Yes, we hear it not just in the show, but one could make the argument you also hear it in the Turbo film itself. I'm not entirely sure, but it's during the introduction of the Turbo Zords. Just need to look at it again. I'm just saying, yes, we still have David Fielding, but like I said, I don't think the other guy is given enough credit. Why else on my video yesterday, on my live stream, would I play an in memoriam video? because, as Austin St. John pointed out to me, we lost a lot of people that were part of the franchise. Yes, fans always mention two in particular. Myself, as much as I like the member berries, don't get me wrong. I know the list is longer than that. That's why yesterday I did what I did. The list is long. Yes, there are certain people that like certain seasons. But let's not kid ourselves. Some of the ones that we know are eventually no longer going to be with us. Myself, I don't call myself an archivist or a geek detective for nothing. This may be a side hustle for me, but it's also a bit of a passion project. It's what I do. It's why I'm also a fan. And also, as I recall when I had that Zoom meeting with Austin St. John, Walter, and Jason Font via Fanword. Quick shout out again to the ones that run it. Jason Font was explaining to Walter and Austin, who never watched Time Force. I want to be clear. There are fans that still ask some of the, well, I hate to say it, ridiculous questions, but it does happen. And the thing is that, you know what? Again, I'm going to say it. I don't care if feelings are hurt. And also, a quick shout out to a particular cosplayer by the name of Dustin, who has cosplayed as particular common writers and has done cosplay for some time. He pointed out in a tweet once, and I quote, if you want to know stuff about, like, production costs and the like, never, ever, ever ask an actor about it. That is something a producer would know. You have any questions about, scripts and lines, you can sometimes ask an actor, but 90% of the time you need to try to find the script writers that worked on the episode. Why else would I, show you guys some scripts that I bought, from prop master Mark Richardson? Yes, he had some as well. Why else would I be showing, that mold power coin of the crane that was done by him? He's done a lot of those. He also sells those at his booth because that is what he does. That is why I also interviewed him. With that being said, I will eventually be uploading some of my videos regarding my convention adventures. Now, I did go over some of that with Legacy of the Nerd on his live stream. I'll put the link for that live stream in the description down below for those who are interested. Now, on top of that, there is one more thing that I wanted to point out here. Give me one moment. Now, this video that I found online, again, I did reference it on my live stream again, but it was kind of rushed and I was kind of bouncing all over the place. To clarify, on Fanword, there is a video that Austin St. John did, and I found out I was poking around on YouTube. You can go ahead and, type it in, Fanword, Austin St. John, and the full video is roughly almost close to 9 minutes, but it does mention about the only time that the Rangers were together, wearing the suits without the helmet. Austin St. John does narrate this. I did obviously also let him know that I did find out about it as I was digging around on Instagram. I mean, not Instagram, on YouTube. I told him on Instagram about it. But as you can see here, I put the exact date that it was showing. So, again, for context, there's the date. Okay, so I paused it around this point. Why? If you take a look, I'll play it again really quick. As you can see on here, for those who said it was just 5, I want to remind you guys again. I have to stress this. You did not have the internet back then. You did not have streaming services. You did not have cell phones, specifically even smartphones, because I've been there. I'm a 90s kid. However, I did know about the traffic jam. I heard it on the news as a kid. I was there when the news broke out. Now, if you guys have asked David Yost or Emilio Johnson or Walter or Austin about it, they probably remember bits and pieces of it. However, feel free to quote me on this. Do let them know that the video does still exist. And as you can see, all 6. Now, while the video does say 5, while the video does say all the Power Rangers, it is all 6 of them. As you can see, there's Jason David Frank wearing the suit. Now, that bit I just paused right there for a few seconds on the video that Austin St. John did regarding this date, February 21st, 1994. He goes over how he was trying to, do his entrance and all that. It does show a little bit of it for a few split seconds. I had to use that clip just for context. So each of them does launch and do their own thing. Now, obviously, it definitely looks from here that, they did have to wear the helmets. But despite the limited visibility to see, because it's like this much, and Austin St. John points out, it fogs up really fast. So, again, if you look, there's him trying to do his performance thing, and obviously there was flames that was exploded, so he was last. But again, I'm just only doing a little bit, so going back again, that obviously is JDF, who was performing his kata despite the limited visibility. I don't know how he did it though. If anybody ever asked him about that time, February 21st, 1994, if you spoke with him about it, I'd love to hear more. I'm just trying to do some research for a little passion project I'm working on, as I told Legacy of Nerd. And as one of the other attendees pointed out, it's up to fans like myself and others. Also, quick shout out to the user for the account, Morphing Museum, and those who support this one. It's up to guys like us, him and I and a few others who are doing this. If you don't mind, I would like to cite you guys just for my project, because, just to be clear, I have read the reviews for the visual history um, book for Power Rangers on Amazon. Mixed reviews at best. Some like it, others don't. I get it. But they are selling them at overpriced prices, scalping and all that. But obviously, you guys can check it out on YouTube, the full interview. Probably going to unlock some memories for, each of them. But they do kind of go over the whole thing. Besides that, there's one more thing I want to point out here. I used to own one of the VHS tapes, and I did find the oh yeah, it was the Polygram commercial for the VHS tapes. Now, the one that I know of in terms of, the episodes mentioned, it was repackaged, FYI. But there's a difference. So first off, let me try to find that commercial real quick. So this is the one I did not know about, but I recognized the art just like that. So I'll get to that one first, and then I will get to the one that came with the Green with Evil VHS that I used to have. FYI, the only one that I had back in the day was episode 4, Eclipsing the Megazord. So give me one moment. So this is the one that I didn't know about back in the day. As you can see here, this is the polygram one. I'll just reduce the volume a little bit, but here we go.
The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are here on video cassette. Morphin Side. Every day can now become a Mighty Morphin Day with your favorite superheroes on video. Our guys are here. Because each of the 5 Rangers is working to a special video adventure just for you. You can take the Power Rangers home on video and watch them battle Rita Repulsa anytime you want. Right. You can collect all 5 at the suggested price of $9.95 each. This great video collection is a special edition available in stores everywhere, so you can take all 5.
So yeah, these were the ones back in the day. I remember walking into a video rental store. Thankfully, there was one that was near me when I lived in Anaheim back in the day. And the only one that I owned is this one, No Clowning Around. The ones that I did borrow back in the day was Day at the Dumpster and Happy Birthday Zach, as well as Food Fight. I did want to watch High Five, but unfortunately, somebody did rent that one out. But like I said, this was the one I used to own back in the day, No Clowning Around. Now, as for the commercial that I do know, is this one.
Because it's the Power Rangers on home video like you've never seen them before. There's 10 hot or phenomenal video classics now in brand new packages.
So, yeah, as you can see, they repurposed it. Those exact same ones you see from here are the exact same ones you see here. And then, they had the Green with Evil arc. It was repackaged. The original one they had back in the day, the art was different. Just saying. But the difference is with this one,
Packages. And now each 30-minute video includes a special feature interview with the Rangers themselves that is not available on TV. Woo! The 10 repackaged breakthrough videos include Day at the Dumpster, High Five, Food Fight, Happy Birthday Zach, and No Clowning Around. Plus, there's the most popular Ranger of all, the Green Ranger Tommy, in his very own miniseries titled Green with Evil, consisting of the other 5 action-packed videos. Out of Control, Jason's Battle, The Rescue, Eclipsing Megazord, and finally Breaking the Spell. And the Power Rangers excitement just keeps on growing in 3 brand new videos. These 3 new titles are The Wannabe Ranger, Honey on the Brain, and Gloom of Doom. This new triple power play of video excitement includes our new bad guy, their most menacing adversary yet, the new alien leader, Lord Zed. New power swords, fantastic creatures of unbelievable power. Plus, they each contain a special new power music video. So get ready for more power, more fun, more action, and more special effects with these 13 great
Yeah, just looking at that just brings back memories. Also, rest in peace, Jason David Frank. But that is the commercial that I remembered back in the day because when I had the VHS for Eclipsing Megazord, it was showing that one. Now, did I want to actually get some of those other tapes back in the day? You bet your bottom dollar I did. Why I hesitated, I have no idea. But, you know, now that's just a little glimpse into how times were back in the 90s. So, yeah, those who used to own those ones, the repackaged ones, if you still have those, at least, you have bits of information in terms of, what they may not have remembered back in the day. The interviews, the questions. Some of those, as a matter of fact, like I said, able to find it now on YouTube. Whoever used to own those ones and, upload those, you have my thanks on that. I will likely be citing those when I work on my little research project. But with that being said, just wanted to share a few little inside notes regarding a franchise that most of us grew up with back in the 90s. This has been Skyhound, also known as Geek Archivist Pierce. Stay safe, stay sane, and as my friend Owen Chad would say, stay humble. Peace.